Robitaille was still talking with the referee. Kevin McGuire, Bob, was on that side of the ice. Now, obviously, he's watching things
again. Montreal, excellent in blocking shots. Here's a penalty coming up. And Urlanov comes back. He knocked Tuomainen down, and then he gave him another shot while he was on the ice.
And again, Kevin McGuire, the referee, Bob. It's a one-referee system. I think, unfortunately, here for the Montreal Canadiens, McGuire was in good position. He had everything in front of him. Now, Ian LaPerriere is kind of talking right now with Aaron Asham near the boards. There's Urlanov, Bob. You're right. He was going to get the original call. Then when Tuomainen was down on the ice, he came for another cross-check right behind the head. There's LaPerriere and Cummins now. A lot of talking going on. We'll get a chance to see how it started. And again, like I said, the referee was right in the middle of this. You saw Kevin McGuire on the screen. Now, Urlanov goes in. There's the reason he's upset. The glove to the side, and there's the punch. That was retaliation, one penalty. Now, here comes the next one. Right behind the head with a cross-check. And Craig Johnson does his job and comes in and helps out his teammate.
Here's Robitaille across the line to Gary Galley and overskated, but now we get another scrap breaking out. Aaron Asham.
And there's Ian LaPerriere, Bob. And Asham goes down on top of Rafi. I don't think any punches really connected there. I talked with Ian. I think it looked like maybe the off-balance play. Asham had him going and had the arm held down. I think he pushed more than threw the punch. Bob, Ian LaPerriere told me this morning, he said, number 45 will come after me. He thought that would be the guy that would try to seek retribution. It was a pretty good scoring chance for the Kings, going with Luc Robitaille over the line, Gary Galley joining. Then the gloves came off behind the play. Ian LaPerriere went to visit Brian Savage in the hospital in Los Angeles right after the game, and he said Brian Savage told him, hey, that's the way things go. It was an accident. Those types of things can happen in hockey. It's part of the game. Ian's certainly very concerned with that. He gets involved right here, and Ian was talking this morning. He understands this, too. He understands.
It's played in behind the net by Ted Donato. Early on, period 2, no score in this one. The Ducks and the Atlanta Thrashers in a fight back at center ice. Kelly Buchberger goes right after Ladislav Cohn, as it happened right in the neutral zone, and they fall right down below the Anaheim Mighty Ducks bench.
The captain, Buchberger, not allowing Cohn any other choice but to go toe-to-toe. For the hit on Patrick Stefan, you protect the franchise future star. Patrick Stefan, Kelly Buchberger knows exactly what he has to do.
Let's take a look at the Stefan hit.
Right there, nice little hip check. Cohn in on the hip of Stefan. Stefan likes to go diagonally in this league. Clean hit. When you go diagonally, you really open yourself up for those kind of cross-ice, cross-body.
Morrow watches Ruslan Soleil send it around and out. Now Ruslan Soleil is going to go right after Steve Stayhouse.
Challenging for that sticking up for your teammate award that you handed out to Kelly Buchberger.
So we can have co-winners.
That's right, one for each team. Soleil taking exception to hit Stayhouse, delivered on his defensive partner. Trepanier shaking it up. He's a pretty tough customer himself, is Trepanier. Said, I don't need your help, Ruslan, but thanks anyway.
Steve Stayhouse saw. Maybe a rabbit punch there.
There it is. Watch it. 1-2, and then Soleil sees the whole thing. And Stayhouse, good vision on his part. He saw the big fella, big man Soleil from Belarus. He is a powerful man, is Ruslan Soleil.
Pushed to the boards by Deadmarsh, and then Forsberg takes a swat from Schaefer, and Adam Foote comes over. Now Deadmarsh and Schaefer want to go. And Deadmarsh drops the gloves, and they will go. Schaefer, a rookie, and I don't know if he wanted a new piece of Deadmarsh. No.
Schaefer. Deadmarsh knows what's going on. He's got to come in and make a save like that.
Dejan after. We have a fight. Craig Berube is involved. Berube against Todd Simpson. They're having quite a chat, too, as they try to get their arms free. Berube gets a right in there. These are two strong guys. And Berube wrestles him down and then got a right hand in. And Gord Brosiker and Pierre Racicot, the linesman, jump in to break it up.
You know, there's a lot of skill in a fight in keeping your balance. And Berube showed good balance in that fight. And Simpson did not. And that's why he hit the deck. No damage done to either player. But one thing about Berube, challenge anybody in the National Hockey League, won't he?
That's the new guard against the old guard there, Dorney. Berube, of course, 8th on the all-time penalty list among National Hockey League players. And right now he's going to take on Todd Simpson, who's the #1 penalty guy right now in the National Hockey League. And not a lot happening on. You see what's happening there? They're holding their arms. That's the way the fights seem to go these days, where you kind of grab on each other's arms and pray that you get one loose. Where years ago it was just like put one hand up on the chest of the sweater and just swing and just pray that you'd hit the opposing player.
Fighting majors on both Simpson and Berube. 6th fight of the year for the Chief, as they call him. He leads Lindros, then retaliates with a big check, and now Richardson comes in and says, let's go, Paul Laws. So Richardson and Laws, they tangled before, and here they go. Laws is an outstanding fighter. Richardson got a right in. Richardson another right, trying to go over the top. Now Laws a left. Oh, that left caught Luke. Now Luke comes back with a right. A left from Laws. Oh, right from Richardson, and Laws takes him down. Both players got some punches in in that tussle.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Luke Richardson, it looked as if he was going down, but he fought back, got a couple of good ones in with the right hand. And that's not one easy customer he took on there in Paul Laws.
And again, it's Luke Richardson. I'm ready for anybody that wants to take me on. And he is such a good guy to have in your hockey club. He supports his teammates at all times. And here's an example of that hit by Laws, and then Richardson said, I've seen enough. Try me.
Well, you're going to see the right hand. He's going to have it out there. Right there, he came right across it. Laws dropped the left. And then Richardson kept coming with the right hand. Now, Laws got him right there with the left hand, but here comes Richardson again with a couple of good right hands. And the balance of Luke Richardson, actually, combination of Laws and Richardson going down there together to the ice, but give Luke Richardson a lot of credit on that one.
You know, last year before they got Berube and McCarthy.
It's dumped into the hog zone. McCabe threw it away along the boards. Picked off by Mateau, trying to cut in, shoot. He shot it wide, and now face-off as Myers and Vandenbush have squared off. Neither man dropped the gloves, though, and let's see if one or both are sent off here.
That's easy now. I'll call that one a draw. I'm sure there'll be a few more, but good start to the game for the San Jose Sharks after a terrific play by Alex Zhamnov on an individual effort. And a good save by Steve Shields. And one thing the Sharks have been able to do this year is respond or react after plays
are over, and both teams now are back at full strength. And now here's Myers going to drop the gloves with Vandenbush. They stared at one another once, and now they're going to go. Big left by Myers, and Vandenbush answering with a left, and they're slugging it out toe-to-toe. And Myers got in another left. And now they trip one another and go down to the ice.
Well, that is unbelievable. Boy, oh boy. The one thing about Ryan Vandenbush, he would not back down to anybody, but Brant Myers has a good probably 6 inches on Vandenbush, and I'm sure he's got a few inches in length from arms. And toe-to-toe right at the center of the ice. A couple of good shots landed, but Vandenbush stayed up and tried to get back. The reach was definitely a problem, but he did get the left in and then tussle right to the ice. But what a battle. Oh, throw. That's a couple of pork chops there. Wow. Myers a little.
He gave it a little WWF at the end of that, and I don't. That That, I believe, will be something that's noticed on the Blackhawk bench. Vandenbush and Myers have been yapping across the penalty box area at one another. And looks like they'll get misconducts as well as the fighting majors. That makes Myers happy. He won't have to deal with any other Chicago players before the second period.
Yeah, he pretty much is the lone fighter, I would say, on the San Jose Sharks.
Shoulder, but now he's back once again behind the play. Reed Simpson matched up with Patrick Cote, the respective heavyweights of these clubs, looking for a little punching room here at 5:43 of the first.
The play was going up the ice, and then they just kind of come together. It's amazing how the tough guys always seem to seek one another out.
Well, Simpson getting an early start here.
Cote's a pretty good sized fella. He's about 6'3", 220.
And he might have been in some trouble there if the linesman hadn't come in there to pull them apart with that jersey over his head.
Yeah, 6'3", 218 is Patrick Cote, so I think it'll mainly just be 5 minutes each for fighting. Sometimes we've seen, though, when it isn't really the heavyweights, you might just get roughing calls on that type of a fight.
You saw referee Dennis LaRue telling the citizens to go back to their lives.
But when the Devils have so much control of the puck, they can hang on, and Holik had his option where he wanted to make the play.
Now McKenna got a swipe at it, but it's batted away, and now we get McKenna going to get into a scrap here. Steve McKenna and Sheldon Souray.
Now these guys sizing it up, and they're looking for some long bombs. McKenna had a little bit of a jab there to get things started. And again, there's the wrestling.
And Souray wrestles McKenna down. Souray was named by Access Hollywood as hockey's best-looking man. Not going to last for long if he keeps that up, but he said, I don't think I'll look too pretty by the time I'm through with hockey. Well, he's probably right.
He looked good in that scrap, certainly, again, with Steve McKenna, excuse me. McKenna was looking to just stand it up.
Gomez across the line. His shot deflected and behind the play. We get Souray into a scrap with LaPerriere.
They came together along the near boards, and Lee LaPerriere, Bob, he had a cold shoulder for Souray. Souray was trying to take him out of the play, and Souray outweighs Ian by about 35 pounds here. But Ian caught him earlier in that shift. Look at Lee LaPerriere right in the face to Souray. He doesn't want to back down. Souray was upset, and it was a clean hit. It was a shoulder by LaPerriere, but it certainly frustrated Souray. He was going off. At that point, both players just kind of yelled and screamed at each other. Then they came together, dropped the gloves. Not many punches thrown. I think both players will get 5 minutes each for fighting.
6-1 New Jersey in the third. The Kings on Fox Sports Net 2 are being brought to you by...
Away from the play, LaPointe. Who is that? Brown? There we go. Here we go. Brown's a tough guy for the Oilers. Right in front of the penalty bench to boot. And LaPointe knows this guy's a big, strong kid that loves to fight. And right now they're all tied up with each other. And LaPointe may be one of the strongest Red Wings as well. Each one of them looking to get one right hand mainly loose and land the haymaker.
Sean Brown.
And LaPointe wrestles him down with that great upper body strength. And 20,000 people give him the decision. Listen to him. You see all those ladies up there clapping their hands? Who said ladies don't like fights?
Fights are way down this year in the league. About 90 at this point. And the Red Wings don't fight very often.
These guys down here, they're got their hands in the air. They're all looking for a good brawl.
Of the shot clock.
And 4 people sitting above it. I have no idea where in the building they are.
No.
I've been looking for them.
I wonder where it was
There
located.
There's a fight going on right here. Byron Ritchie and Matthew Barnaby.
And they bang away in the Carolina zone. Brian Ritchie and Matthew Barnaby, the Penguin winger, and center iceman. Ritchie's coming with some pretty good left hands. Now here's Barnaby answering with a couple of rights. The southpaws are not easy to handle.
This is right where Barnaby starts taking over, because he has the stamina to go long distances in the fights here, and he's telling the referees to stay out. He wants to keep going. Byron Ritchie's trying to get his team back on track here. Matthew Barnaby answers the call, and I give him the nod.
They both head to their respective locker rooms. Matthew Barnaby and Byron Ritchie.
He's bowing to the crowd. There might only be 7,000 people here, but they're all going to hate him by the end of the night. It's right off the face-off. They did a little pushing and shoving, and there they go.
Ritchie's a 5'11", 190-pounder. Barnaby got the first couple of shots. Ritchie hails from Lethbridge, who played his junior hockey. He was over 100 minutes several times in his career.
Kristich smacking away at Chow, but Domi and Cairns are going to go. Eric Cairns got a couple of right hands in on Ty Domi. Cairns has thrown most of them and landed several of them. Domi, without the helmet, just trying to get a hand free, but Cairns won't let him. Now Domi throws a couple of lefts, and it's Cairns who winds up down on the ice before Domi and Cairns are separated by the linesmen. Cairns wants more, and Domi's more than willing to accommodate him, but they'll head to the penalty box, or actually with 3:10 left, probably to their dressing room.
There was a time in the second period when those two players came together along the boards and had a conversation, and nothing got started, and I think that's just a continuance of what they were talking about in the second period.
Not that Ty ever needed an invitation anyway.
No, here it is, right there. Now, Cairns has been trying to get him to drop the gloves, as I mentioned earlier in the game, and Cairns switched hands, was able to get a few punches in from both sides, and Domi's always been one to hang in there and come back the other way.
So this gives us an opportunity.
Goes 6'4", 245. And I think Dingman probably got the number, too. So Leclerc is the one who better keep his head up when the rest of the game ends. Here's Matt Cullen, who is centering Stu Grimson and Jim McKenzie. Quite a change. Oh, wait, here we go. Little nastiness. Sammy Helenas squaring off with Jim McKenzie. I don't really understand the point at this juncture in the game. Well, two large men going at it, too. There are quite a few big men on this ice tonight, and these are certainly two of them. McKenzie with that right hand free, landing a lot of punches. I'm not sure too many of them got up to the face of Helenas, but this one was right off the face-off. See if we can take a look exactly how it started. Didn't seem to be too much instigation. Right over there, that's where they are. Not a lot of, oh yeah, I think that was pretty much predetermined. Drop the puck, drop the gloves, drop the stick, here we go. So they had a little conversation beforehand. Something about your mother in army boots or something. Possibly. But big Jim McKenzie with a lot more right hands than Helenas threw, but not a lot of damage done. Momentum-wise, I'm not sure that it meant a lot really for or against either team. There just hasn't been enough that's happened yet. Haydukes had the one good scoring chance on Roussel, and other than that, not a lot. But both teams pretty careful so far through the neutral zone, and the neutral zone will certainly be important in this game. Leaves it off for Yell. Donato dropping it back. We're going to have a penalty called away from the play. Grimson wants a go at Odgers. Oh, here they go. Grimson misses and hits the glass with his right fist, and he's connecting with plastic now. Odgers is up and at him. Stu Grimson came out of his player's bench and took a run at Jeff Odgers. I don't think Odgers ever saw him coming, and he hammered him into the glass. And that's why Odgers not too pleased about it. These two guys have gone at it before. They've known each other a very long time. Jeff Odgers giving away a lot of reach here. Stu Grimson, one of the taller, bigger guys in the National Hockey. Oh, my goodness. Look at those right hands going in there. Grimson, 6'5", 239. Odgers just 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, and 6 feet might be stretching it. Yeah, Odgers is not a heavyweight from the standpoint of size, but he has never, ever backed away from anybody. So what got it started was a hit by Stu Grimson on Odgers, and Odgers wasn't going to take that from him or anybody else. Grimson taking off his own jersey just so he can get his pads back in order. I don't know how many times these guys have fought in the past, but you know this one wasn't anywhere near the first time.
Both guys been in the league a very long time. They do their jobs very well. You see the hit just off the side of the screen there. That's where Grimson knew he got a good piece of Odgers. You could see he was looking for Odgers to come back all the way along. Odgers hit the linesman in the way of him, and first of all, and then the linesman said, the heck with it. Let him go. Let him get it out of their system. Stu Grimson's got those long arms, and he's very powerful. And then, good forearm smash there by Grimson at the very end of it. So some physical stuff going on in this game. A couple of scraps already. Odgers was going around looking for people in the first period. Couldn't find any takers. He found Stu Grimson there.
But Odgers, although he gets the fighting penalty to match Grimson,
18th of October against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Face off to the right of Patrick Lawn. Players are going to go. Sammy Helenius along the far boards. All knotted up, and I'll tell you, Jim McKenzie's got the upper hand right now. These are a couple of big guys. McKenzie with their right hand free. Couple of quick rabbit punches to the side of the head and a couple of undercuts, and that'll do it. The linesman will step in and intervene, but as soon as they drop the puck, the players drop the gloves.
Well, Jim McKenzie got the better of that exchange with Helenius. Shift. He was obviously fatigued.
Oh, what's going to happen here? Jeff Odgers wants a piece of Stu Grimson, and here they go. Grimson's got that right hand free, but just momentarily. Good couple of uppercuts by Stu Grimson as Odgers tries to wrestle the helmet off his head. He does. Notice the linesmen. They're in no particular hurry to step in between these two big guys.
Can you blame them?
Not at all. Odgers 6 foot, 200 pounds. Grimson steps in at 6'5", 239. They're still going at it. Now's a good time to intervene. And as Odgers looks up, Grimson comes out of the pack. Pretty good scrap.
Yeah, this one was initiated by Stu Grimson, and I think he actually already had a minor penalty against Grimson for trying to, shall we say, distract or catch the attention of Jeff Odgers.
Just trying to go 5-hole as players go careening into Dominic Roussel, and you can tell Jason Marshall's seen just about enough of that. He's going to tangle with a pretty big guy in Chris Dingman. Well, the pot was boiling, and now it's boiled over as Steve Ruchin is all locked up along the backboards with Sandis Ozolinsh. Neither player really known for their fisticuffs.
Well, Ozolinsh just kind of jumped on top of Jason Marshall. Give Ruchin credit for getting in there. Here's how it starts. A little bump. Not much of one, really. Jason Marshall takes exception to it. And Chris Dingman didn't really seem to need much of anything. But Ozolinsh came in and really jumped on top of Ruchin, along with one of the other Colorado players. And I think Sandis Ozolinsh is going to be gone.
Here we go. See, I figured this was going to happen. Quintel and LaPerriere. LaPerriere is a good kid, Sam, and he knows that his team's getting shellacked here on the road. He better do something. And Quintel, you can see how strong he is. And Stefan Quintel wins this one.
LaPerriere is willing, but that's a bigger guy that it's going against.
But the Rangers are doing everything here. Now they have Janssen. Oh, one of the Kings gave Janssen a shove. And who is that? Tuominen? Oh, here we go. This may explode here.
Nedved's involved with somebody.
This may
in
explode.
Some wrestling. Rob Blake's number 4. Matty Nordstrom is there, number 14. Craig Johnson for L.A. is number 23.
One of them was going after Kim Janssen. And it's a player that's bent right over. Yeah, it's the Finn.
Tuomainen.
Tuomainen doesn't like the Swede. The Finns don't like the Swedes.
We're going to have a war here.
This is it, baby. Mike Richter. There you can see LaPerriere moved in to take the body. There's Quintel and LaPerriere meeting up, and you just sensed it was going to happen. 5-0. Lappy on the ice. LaPerriere, former Rangers, a good kid. He knows what he wants to do to spark his team a little bit, but that worked in reverse as Quintel did his thing. And the Rangers, they're just doing everything here.
Get it. Picked up by Caberlaw. And the puck cleared up to center. Now we get a scrap right out at center ice. Silva and Lefebvre.
He's going after Marco Tuomainen, Bob, and that started on the last shift, as I mentioned, in the crease with the New York Rangers. And this is I respect Lefebvre for the way he plays the game because he's a strong defensive defenseman. But he wears the shield, and it looked like there, Bob, he was just taking advantage, starting to throw a couple punches. We'll take a break here.
And Cale Hulse, the defenseman who's playing up front. It has for a few games, and again the puck is cleared to center, and behind the play we're going to have a scrap. Strudwick and Cale Hulse. Two defensemen, one of them playing up front, and both trying to give their team a spark in the early going. And this is not unusual for these two teams, Calgary and Vancouver, to engage in fistic action.
Well, we've talked about the importance of this hockey game, so both teams trying to get the emotional edge and the physical one. And right now, Cale Hulse at home doing what he was sent out to do. And Jim way away from the play, not even involved at all.
And now Jason Strudwick does the right thing. Gets in tight with the lefty. Cale Hulse having hit him a few times on that helmetless head. So Hulse and Strudwick will go off, and if Jason Strudwick's back hadn't had a big test this morning in the morning skate, it just got one.
Well, here's the left side of your screen. Watch them talking right here. The play's going back up the other end. They take a look around and just trying to set the tone for this game. And Jim, not bad. The way this game started, no whistles early on, a good flow back and forth. So everyone into the game early on. And
Chris Simon, Brendan Witt, one after another. Oh, baby.
Get a shot in the back.
He did a good job. Here's Fleury trying to delay and use the shot through the legs.
Uh-oh.
Fight.
Eagles and Harvey.
Todd Harvey hasn't had a fight all year.
Ooh, Eagles.
There's
a couple of lefts in there.
Harvey wants to keep going here. He wants to rip the helmet off and get at it. The Eagles has the visor on, Sam.
Harvey's still going.
The Eagles, remember this, as we just noticed, throws him left-handed.
Yeah. Well, with the linesman there, well, I think Harvey's got to cool down. I think he's upset about Eagles fighting with a visor.
I'm not sure how this started. There's two centermen right in here. They meet up. Sticks were up, and they just sort of evolved into a scrap. Bill McCreary makes the calls. I don't see anything up on the board regarding a power play, Sam.
Here they're going to catch him here, Brian, on a centering pass from Cullen to Soleil, and reaching way back to make that save was Tebow, and then he's going to get out of the way as tempers begin to flare. Jim McKenzie and Brad Brown going eyeball to eyeball. Will this go any further? And apparently the linesmen are just going to sit back and watch. Couple of right-hand bombs. McKenzie, 6'4", 229. Brad Brown, 6'3", 206. And as the heavyweights run out of steam, the linesmen still will not step in.
The linesmen just waiting for them to get tired. Both guys, no strangers to this part of the game, that's for sure.
Brown has that right hand free, and a big uppercut by Brad Brown. So that'll do it. And it all started with a terrific opportunity for the Ducks in a great... They did not have a shot on goal, Brian, on that power play as the Ducks chip out to the neutral zone, and I'll tell you, someone just got their teeth rattled, and it's going to break loose right now.
Well, Paul Correa got drilled from behind by Tony Amonte. It was almost like he was waiting for someone to come after him. It was Jason Marshall that went after him, and then we got a little wrestling match going on right now. No punches thrown, but